So we've got a list of Dragon Ball Z characters here. We've got 48 to 1 in a list of ranking of importance to the actual series. And at number 48 we have Poir. And I mean, I don't think this whole website, it doesn't have all the characters. It doesn't have all the main characters, but from the characters that it does have, Poir being at the end of the list, I can actually kind of agree with, because Poir
Mm-hmm.
didn't do anything in Dragon Ball Z. She did do some stuff in Dragon Ball, but we're talking about Dragon Ball Z.
I actually never knew that Poir was a girl. I just never really thought
I
about that.
mean, uh, I mean it's debatable either way, but from
Mm,
the voice, it's.
yeah. Then Oolong, I don't know. Should he really be that low?
I mean, just like Poir, Oolong, they kind of go hand in hand. They have the same ability, and it says here that they have the same power levels. So, I mean, I guess if we could kind of tie Poir and Oolong together, but yeah, I mean, Oolong second last. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Uh-huh. But remember in Dragon Ball, didn't Oolong like save Emperor, like save the Z fighters from Emperor Pilaf wishing for immortality?
Yeah, he wished for panties, and I mean, without that wish,
Could
you know,
have been bad.
moving on to number 46, we have Bibidi, who is the original creator of Majin Buu, or the original summoner of Majin Buu. And I would honestly put him higher. I mean, he summoned Majin Buu. Majin Buu obviously being one of the strongest characters, in Dragon Ball Z period. I would put him, much higher.
Same. And it's like if we move on to like if we foresee the next few ones, they put launch ahead of Bibidi. Like why?
Yeah. Launch was in the Saiyan saga and she did nothing.
Like Akira Toriyama forgot about her. Like that's
Exactly.
how like what? What'd she do?
She did nothing. And to say she's even more important than Hercule, who's number 44, I mean, Hercule saved the entire series, like twice. He threw Android 16 at Gohan to make Gohan turn Super Saiyan 2, and he kind of like helped form the Spirit Bomb to kill Kid Buu.
He's done few eventful things in the show. Like why is launch so much higher than them?
It's pretty comical. But then we have number 42, which is Nappa. I mean, he caused the death of like all the Z fighters, Yamcha, Chiaotzu, Tien, even Piccolo. So I mean, I would put him a little bit higher, but
hmm
I mean, he's one of the original Saiyans that came to Earth. I mean, that's all he really did. He killed those four, and then he didn't really do anything else. He never really appeared throughout the entire series ever again. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's pretty accurate there, but I would put him a little bit higher.
Yeah. And Vegeta killed him twice. Like well, come on. Oh, Babidi actually is on this list. Next, 41.
I mean, to putting Babidi higher than Bibidi, I mean, yeah, I can definitely agree with that because Bibidi, he didn't Bibidi get killed by Kid Buu? I'm not too sure, but so
Yeah,
did
I'm
Babidi.
pretty sure
But
that's what happened.
I mean, Babidi, yeah, I mean, nothing really much to say here. It's same as Bibidi, to be honest.
But the thing is, Bibidi made Majin Buu, or not made him, he summoned him, and then Babidi kind of ran with it. So I could see Babidi being higher than him. He ran with it and was the one that actually, caused the Z Fighters trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in the end, they both did die to Majin Buu. So moving on to number 40, Pan. Pan in Dragon Ball Z did nothing. Pan showed up at the end of the last three episodes, if I'm correct. She
Uh-huh.
did nothing in those
What tournament?
episodes. Yeah, she
She
did
beat
nothing.
her opponent in the tournament, but other than that, well, if you want to get specific, if we're talking about just Dragon Ball in general, and since Battle of Gods is canon, if she wasn't there, Goku would never have gone God.
That's true, but I mean, yeah, that is true. That's that. But would you put Pan higher than Hercule?
Pan higher than Hercule. Let me go back to Hercule. Higher than Hercule. I don't know. I think Pan actually deserves to be 40, if not 40, maybe higher. Because, the one that made Goku a god. I don't
That,
know.
yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I just until we see more of her with maybe within Dragon Ball Super, I mean, I just can't see her being up this high.
Two different ends of the stick. But That's all we have for Pan, pretty much. I can't see any more.
Moving on to number 39, Mr. Popo. I can definitely agree with this. Mr. Popo was absolutely amazing. I mean, he trained the Z Fighters to actually fight the Saiyans. Um, yeah, it's just Mr. Popo. What else can I say?
I'm foggy on Dragon Ball. Is Mr. Popo the one that introduced the time chamber, or was that Kami? Where'd they
It
find out about it?
it was never really shown in Dragon Ball, but it was.
Goku went into it.
Yeah, no, but they never actually showed it within Dragon Ball. It was just implied that they went in it when they,
Oh.
went into Z. But
Mm.
Mr. Popo is, yeah, he does definitely. He actually introduced, he actually brought up the idea of Goten and Trunks fusing into Gotenks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So without that, then, who knows what would have happened.
Also, what was that one room that they went into early on in the series? It was
Oh, yeah.
Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu to get some extra training.
It was like the Pearl or something. It was a filler episode, but yeah, definitely.
So 39 is Yamcha. I don't know how I feel about Yamcha being up this high.
I don't think Yamcha would be. I mean, what did Yamcha do in the entire series? Name off Yamcha's achievements.
Let's
He
just go
died.
bit by bit.
Yeah,
Died in the first saga.
died in the first saga. Got beat up by Doctor Gero, and we never really saw him again. I mean, in Dragon Ball, admittedly, he was a well trained fighter. Is actually one of the best. But in Dragon Ball Z and even Dragon Ball GT, Yamcha didn't do anything.
Yeah, and it's crazy to put Yamcha ahead of Pan, Babidi,
Exactly.
even even Oolong. I think Oolong's done more than
I
Yamcha,
think
maybe.
anyone has done more than Yamcha, but I mean, I don't hate Yamcha as a character. I mean, he is part of the original Z Fighters, so I guess maybe that's where they're coming from.
Uh-huh. But other than that, that's pretty much all for Yamcha. I don't think he should be up this high. If anything, maybe like 45.
If even on this list at all.
Mm-hmm. Because there's some characters that aren't even on this list, and why was Yamcha put ahead of them?
Exactly, like Vegito isn't on this list, and Yamcha's ahead of him.
But 37, we have Dr. Brief.
I mean, I can kind of agree with this, but not really. I mean, he didn't make the Dragon Raider, that was Bulma. He does own Capsule Corp, so he makes capsules. Um,
Actually, I can agree with this. He made Goku's spaceship.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I mean, yeah, no, that's completely true. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Goku would never get to Namek without him.
I think
So
we
I
should
think he's
mention as
good.
well, next to the pictures of these guys, we actually have their power level. I think we should bring that up too. Dr. Brief is actually at 12. Do you agree with that or not?
I'd say any human from a power level of 5 to like Hercule being the only one that's, better than all of them. I could agree with that, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because it shows Percule's power level of not applicable, so they don't actually know. But I mean, they just guessing Dr. Brief's power level.
That's that's weird.
Yeah.
Unless he
So
was captured on a scouter when Bulma was messing with it. I don't remember that.
no, I don't think that. I don't think that was actually ever shown.
But 36, we have Videl.
I can definitely agree with this. Uh,
Yep.
yeah. Wife of Gohan, daughter. I mean,
Carrier of Pan
carrier of
helps
Pan, daughter of
Goku go
Hercule.
Super Saiyan God. Has she done anything else?
Beat up by Spopovich.
Oh my gosh, she got destroyed.
Yeah, that was one of the most brutal moments in the entire series. But I don't think she's done anything other than that.
Trying to see if she should be lower than anybody.
I mean, I think she's definitely more important than Yajirobe, but I guess people could say that Yajirobe chopped off Vegeta's tail. And I mean, yeah, that was very important.
To say she's more important than Mr. Popo, I don't know. That's kind of stretching it.
Kind of, yeah, but I think Videl should be on the same level as Pan, because all Pan really did was contribute to Goku going God. And, I mean, without Videl, that wouldn't really happen. And that's all Videl really did. She just contributed to Goku going God.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you want to say that she gave energy towards the Spirit Bomb to kill Kid Buu,
I don't think one person could make that big of a difference, but if you want to get specific, yeah. But I think that's all we have for Videl.
Number 35, we have Chiaotzu.
Um, I I don't know.
I mean, I like that he's higher than Yamcha, but he didn't really do anything other than sacrifice himself against Nappa.
And that didn't like it just left him with a few scratches. It didn't even kill him.
And other than that, he didn't do anything. He didn't train for the androids. He trained on King Kai's planets, but I mean King Kai's planet. He didn't train for the androids. I don't think. He didn't actually fight the androids. He didn't do anything in the Buu saga. So I mean, I don't see how Chiaotzu has any kind of relevance towards Dragon Ball Z. He did do a lot in Dragon Ball, but not Z.
Yeah, I don't know about Chatsu being up this high on the list. To
And
say that he's more important than like Dr. Brief,
yeah.
Mr. Popo, even Nappa, like why?
It also says his power level is 19,000, so that pretty much implies that he could go toe to toe with Vegeta in the Saiyan saga.
And I could not see that at all. I feel like end of the show, he'd still get completely blown back.
I mean, yeah, I have to agree with that.
I don't even know. Do you think end of the show, Chaozu blowing himself up on Saiyan Saga Nappa, do you think that'd kill him yet or no?
I mean, I think if he used his energy, because remember he did train on King Kai's planet. Um, I mean, yeah, I think if he used channeled all of his energy into blowing himself up, I think that would be enough energy to kill Nappa.
Uh-huh, but with this power level, I think it should be a little bit lower. Because he
Yeah,
doesn't train that much. He just kind of watches Tien train, if I'm pretty sure.
I think he just freezes the waterfalls.
Now, Yajirobe, I think he deserves to be where he is.
I mean,
C- Hmm?
yes and no. He didn't do anything after the Saiyan saga, honestly. He threw sensu beans to people, which is helpful, but I mean, he cut off Vegeta's tail. He didn't really do anything else. I mean, I
Cutting
don't.
off Vegeta's tail was so big, though.
It was, and I do remember he actually injured Vegeta when Vegeta was trying to cut off Gohan's tail, and that would have helped as well. But I just don't see how he's more important than say someone like Videl, or someone like Mr. Popo, or even Babidi.
I'd say the tail and handing out sensu beans to everybody is, like, good enough to get to this point on the list, but I could see where you're coming from, maybe a little bit lower.
So number 33, we have Raditz, and I think that Raditz should be in the top 10.
Yeah, Reddit should definitely be top 10. If he never came to Earth, this series would have been fucked.
Yep,
I'm
just saying it
sorry.
right now. Raditz, one of the most important characters in the series. He may not be one of the strongest, but he's definitely one of the most important. And the fact that he's Goku's brother, people just, kind of look at that and don't really take anything. But Raditz being Goku's brother was really shocking if you came from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z.
Because it's like you got more development on Goku. And it's like, wait,
Exactly.
he has a brother?
Exactly.
So Reddit should definitely be in the top 10. I don't agree with this 1%.
32, we have Tien, and I think Tien should be higher, honestly. Tien did a lot of stuff throughout the series. He didn't pull a Yamcha, he didn't pull a Chiaotzu. He actually he trained for the Saiyans, he trained for the androids, he trained with King Kai, and he actually held off second form Cell.
And he at least gave his all against Majin Buu. Like, compared to Yamcha, who didn't even want to fight him.
Exactly. So Tien is a considerable character.
hmm And do you think do you think he should be 32, higher, lower?
Definitely higher. I mean, scrolling down, I think he is more important than Korin. Honestly, in Dragon Ball Z, Korin grew sensu beans. I don't think he didn't deliver sensu beans. Yajirobe was the one who delivered them.
hmm So, yeah, Tien should be a little bit higher. But 31, we have the Ginyu Force. I don't, what did they do?
I mean, they didn't kill anybody. I don't think.
Besides making the Z fighters that were on Namek a little bit stronger through the experience, they didn't do much.
Without the Ginyu Force, Vegeta would have gotten his. Would Vegeta have gotten his wish? No, I don't think he would have. I think he would
No,
have actually gone ahead and killed Gohan and Krillin because he wouldn't have had any use for them.
actually, now that you bring that up, that brings this up into my head. If the Ginyu Force wasn't there and Ginyu being a part of the Force, Goku would have never got that Zenkai boost to match up with Frieza.
Yeah, and Frieza, Goku being the kind of fighter that he is, he would have definitely let Frieza transform just to test
Hmm.
himself. So yeah, I think the Ginyu Force are important enough to be on this list, but I think I'm fine with where they are right now.
Yeah, now that I rethought about everything, they're fine where they are.
Yeah, number 30 we have Dende. Now at the start of when we first saw Dende, Dende wasn't very relevant, but he does become more relevant at the end of the series when he actually starts becoming the Guardian of Earth.
Hmm. Also, on Namek, if I'm not mistaken, did he give Vegeta a Zenkai boost?
Yeah, he did. Krillin shot him through the chest, and Dende at first refused to heal him, but he did eventually heal him. So yeah, he did get a Zenkai boost.
And I know that Zenkai boost for Vegeta still made him an ant to Frieza, but a Zenkai boost is a Zenkai boost. I think Zende's good where he is, and like you said, he's the new guardian of the Earth. Manages to recreate the Earth's Dragon Balls, like it says right here. I think Dende is good.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I can't complain where Dende is.
Hmm.
But number 29, we have Supreme Kai. Now, Supreme Kai is a god. And, I mean, I feel without Supreme Kai, Majin Buu would have awoken and the Z Fighters wouldn't have actually known about Majin Buu
Yeah,
at
Majin Buu
first.
would have just came out of nowhere.
And then I don't think we would have gotten Majin Vegeta. And, I mean, everything would have been really weird. So I think Supreme Kai is good. I think he may be a little bit higher on this
Hmm.
list in terms of rank. But I mean, I can't complain. There are definitely more characters that are more relevant throughout the series.
I can actually see something right now. I just scrolled a tiny bit and I saw Bardock ahead of him. Like, how? I know he gave birth to Goku, but putting that aside, he wasn't even in Dragon Ball Z.
He was in one page of the manga
Oh
when
yeah, on
Frieza
the
was
Frieza
referencing him, but
saga.
he never
Yeah.
really had a character to develop or anything. So Bardock, yeah, he's not actually this version of Bardock, the one that they're actually using, uh, isn't actually canon because it says right here that they're using the Bardock father of Goku, which technically isn't canon. As much as I hate to say that, because I really like that movie, but yeah.
Bardock, if anything, if we're talking about canon only, one page in the manga, he didn't do anything. I'd put him like at the very bottom,
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
putting away the fact that he gave birth to Goku, but yeah, he didn't do much. Supreme Kai should definitely be ahead of him.
And then you scroll down even more, we have Korin, and I mean, he grew sensu beans. He didn't really do much after that. He judged Goku's power when he came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, but did it?
Well, how
Go on.
much did the sensu beans make a difference? Because that can actually be a big enough deal to get him to where he is on the list.
Yeah, they didn't use sensu beans in the Saiyan fight. I mean, Goku did when he got off Snake Way. They used them. Yeah, I mean, they used them a lot throughout the series. Uh, I just definitely don't think he's should be as high as he is.
Um, did he give out any sense? Do sensu beans give Zenkai boosts or no?
Yeah, for Saiyans, if they're her
Yeah, that's what I meant. Um, did that ever happen?
all the time.
I could see Korra being this high.
I mean, yeah, but he's higher than a god. He is higher than a god.
But yeah, I see where you're coming from with that.
But
Maybe
yeah,
if Korra and Kai switch.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Number 26, we have Android 16. And yeah, I can see this.
I could see him higher, to be honest. Triggered Gohan to go Super Saiyan 2.
And he held off First Form Cell for a while.
Do you think he could have beat First Form Cell?
That's tricky. He almost did. But Cell got, like, kind of evaded his attack. And, you know, while there was smoke around, he kind of just absorbed 17. So if there was just a one-on-one fight, it could have gone either way, honestly. But I'd have to maybe go with Cell just because he knows everyone's techniques.
Well, this guy, Android 16, only has like rocket-based attacks and punches.
He fires out bullets from his hands, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 25, we have Chi-Chi.
All right. Chi-Chi. Okay. Why?
She gave birth to Gohan and Goten.
Other than, okay, we need to start factoring
And
in the
if you
game
want to count
birthday.
in the filler episode, she actually triggered Goten to become a Super Saiyan.
Okay, yeah, she did train Goten a little bit, but You know, I don't know. I think she could be a lot lower.
I definitely think she could be a lot lower. I mean, it says her power level is 300, which means she would have been like as strong as Goku when, at the start of Dragon Ball Z when he went off to fight Raditz, which means Chi-Chi could have actually helped against Raditz, which I don't think she could have, but
Do you think Chi-Chi's stronger than Master Roshi? Because Master Roshi on this list, it says he's like 100 or something. 150.
I think Chi-Chi, it's a tough fight, honestly, but I do think Master Roshi just has way more experience than Chi-Chi, and since Chi-Chi is just a stay-at-home wife and doesn't really do anything, I
Also,
don't.
Master Roshi Kamehameha, and he can go into his buff form. I
Master
don't think,
Roshi blew up the moon. I don't see Chi-Chi blowing up the moon.
basically, so these power levels are not accurate at all.
They're not accurate at all. So number 24 we have Zarbon. Honestly, yeah, kind of. I mean, he triggered Vegeta, one of Vegeta's biggest Zenkai boosts. Think from the entire series. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
without that
actually,
Zenkai boost, Zarbon would just came back and killed him again. Or not killed him again, killed him.
yeah, and potentially Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma.
Yep. I
So,
think Zarbon's good.
yeah, I think I'm happy with Zarbon's placement. Now, number 23, we have Android 19. I don't think he was that essential to the series. I mean, he made Vegeta look really badass when he killed him, but
Hmm.
I mean, he put up a good fight against Goku. Uh, I mean, well, Goku was on the verge of death anyway because of his heart disease, but let's just not count that. No, I don't see Android 19 having that much of an impact, honestly. If
Me neither.
Android
He was
19,
just a villain that died in like a few episodes.
yeah, he showed up pretty much to die. He showed up to kind of emphasize Android 17 and 18.
They're 19 and not 19 and 20. I was gonna say 19 and 20. Oh yeah, it was 19 and 20. What am I saying?
Doctor,
19 and
yeah,
20 were just a lead in to 17 and 18, to be honest.
exactly.
Number 22, we have Cooler.
Cooler's not
Why?
even canon. Like what?
Yeah,
What?
he's not canon. What?
But I mean, if he was canon, I guess let's just say he was canon. I usually like to think of Cooler as what if Goku killed Frieza with the Spirit Bomb, because that's kind of what I like to take the Cooler movies as. Because if Goku killed Frieza with the Spirit Bomb, he would have turned Super Saiyan. And in the Cooler movies, he demonstrated that he wasn't able to turn Super Saiyan at will. So I mean,
Oh, that's cool. Never
yeah.
thought about it like that.
That's how I like to interpret it. But I mean, if he was canon, I definitely see how Cooler would be on this list. It's kind of like an alternate universe of how Goku would have turned Super Saiyan. But um,
But if we're only taking canon, just like Bardock, he should be at like the very
he
end.
shouldn't even be on this list if it's not canon. But moving on to number 21, Garlic Jr.
Not canon.
Not canon and probably one of my least favorite characters.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
the Garlic Jr. saga, even though it wasn't canon, I thought it was kind of cool.
I mean, I watched it as a kid and I haven't watched it since. But from what I remember, it just wasn't interesting to me.
Give it a rewatch. I rewatched it like a month ago. It was cool. The fights are really awesome.
I might actually give it a rewatch. But number 20, we have Kami, and I completely agree with this.
Yep. Help. That's Piccolo's other half. He needs them.
I mean, the original Guardian of Earth as well, original creator of the Dragon Balls. Without Kami, Piccolo wouldn't have been able to fuse into, Super Piccolo, I guess, and take on 17 and Cell, and, everything would have been screwed.
Without Kami, no Dragon Balls, no wishes.
No Dragon Ball Z.
Porunga, yes.
I mean, yeah, he's an eternal dragon. I guess we have to kind of put the eternal dragons up this high because without them, without Porunga, we wouldn't have gotten Piccolo to come to Namek, and we wouldn't have, essentially everything would have been messed up, and we wouldn't have gotten Goku. The Earth destroyed from Kid Buu, it wouldn't have been restored because of that was the wish that they asked of Porunga.
Exactly what wishes were brought to
Um,
Porunga?
in the end of the Buu saga, they wished for all the Earthlings to be restored onto the planet Earth. So they used up two wishes from restoring the Earth and to put all the Earthlings back on it. And they used the third wish to restore Goku back to his full power.
And on Namek, they brought Piccolo to Namek. Didn't they also teleport Piccolo near them or something? I don't know.
No,
What did
they
they
brought
do?
Piccolo back, and then Piccolo. They brought Piccolo back to life, then they teleported him to Namek, and then Porunga actually died.
Oh, they didn't get the final wish. Okay, yep, yep.
Yeah. But he's an
But
eternal dragon, I think is completely good where he is. So,
yeah, I see that. We 18. We got Krillin.
yeah.
Um,
I actually really like Krillin. Krillin, it was very essential in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, he was actually very essential for the Saiyan saga, the Namek saga, and the Frieza saga. I mean, he cut off Frieza's tail. He solo
uh-huh.
fled to Doria. He put up a decent fight against the Ginyu Force and Frieza himself. So, I mean, Krillin, one of the most essential Earthlings for in the entire series.
If Krillin wasn't here, who would have gone to Namek?
It would have been maybe just Gohan and Bulma. Or maybe they just had to
Didn't
wait.
Gohan want to go because Krillin was going though?
No, Gohan only wanted to go because he felt like it was his responsibility, his duty to restore Piccolo back to life.
Oh, true. And Bulma obviously can't protect Gohan at all. And you remember how constantly on Namek Gohan wanted to jump into fights, but Krillin and Piccolo tell him no?
Yeah,
Like, what would happen if Krillin wasn't there? Gohan would just jump into a fight and get killed.
exactly. But I feel like if Krillin couldn't go, they would have just waited for Goku to be at full power. I don't feel like Gohan would have gone off with Bulma alone. That's just my opinion.
It's good. So, I definitely think Krillin could be 18.
Android 17 comes in at number 17. What a coincidence.
Wow.
But, I mean, importance to the series, he had an entire arc, an entire movie dedicated towards him. He actually, if you want to count in GT, he was one of the main villains in GT. But Android 17, yeah, I can agree with this because he caused the death of Gohan, future Gohan. And, I mean, in the main timeline, if you want to count the main timeline, Android 17 wasn't as essential. I mean, if Android 17 wasn't there in the main timeline, I mean, everything would have been a lot easier in the Cell saga, but they would have been screwed in the Boo saga.
Also, another thing that 17 helped out with is helping Cell go perfect. And without Cell going perfect, no Super Saiyan 2 Gohan because they would have been able to defeat him like really quick.
Exactly. I feel like Cell would have just absorbed everyone on Earth. I feel like he would, if he had the power to, he would have absorbed Piccolo, he would have absorbed Tien, he would have absorbed everyone.
Do you think their powers compared to 17 could help them go super or no?
I don't think so. I personally don't think so, unless he blows himself up and gets unlimited Zenkai boosts.
Actually, wait. Cell absorbing, that was after Piccolo fused with Kami, and Piccolo was almost, Piccolo and 17 were right next to each other in power.
Yeah.
So if he absorbed Piccolo, he could probably go perfect. I can see that.
Number 16, we have King Kai, and I mean, we're getting very close to the end of the list. And King Kai, I mean, he taught Goku, he taught Yamcha, he taught Tien, he taught Piccolo, he taught Chiaotzu, he taught everybody. I think, without King Kai, they all would have been dead when the Saiyans arrived.
I'm gonna reach and say King Kai should be higher.
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
King Kai didn't teach Goku Kaioken. Goku would have no chance against Vegeta, and they would all died.
Exactly. He wouldn't be used to training in gravity as well, Goku.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
definitely King Kai should be higher, I feel. Number
mhm.
15, we have Frieza, who I just want to point out really quick. Frieza's power level in this is 20,000 to 100 quintillion. So they're obviously counting in the new movie. If that's 100 quintillion, I'm not actually sure, but it looks like 100 quintillion. So that means they're counting in the new movie, because that's what that voice actor obviously said Frieza's power level was. I think Frieza should easily be in top 10, easily. Because
Mhm.
Frieza was one of the most essential villains in terms of character building for Vegeta. He actually, without Frieza, Vegeta wouldn't have been the way he was. He definitely would have been evil, but he wouldn't have been, you know, petrified of Frieza. He would have been a completely different character, I feel.
Yeah, because Frieza killed his dad, right?
He killed his dad, he killed his whole race.
Basically, Vegeta would be completely different without Frieza. Frieza should be top 10, like you said.
Dr. Gero's coming in at number 14, and yeah, I think he should be higher. He created Cell himself, 19, 17, 16, he created all these androids. And, I mean, just think of what the androids have done for the series.
Gohan Super Saiyan 2. What else?
Super Vegeta, Super Trunks. They made
Yeah, like Gero should be like top five. Not, I don't know.
maybe not top 5, but definitely top 10. But 13, we have Piccolo, and Piccolo, he trained Gohan. He, I mean, yeah, I'm actually happy with Piccolo where he's at right now because I feel like the heroes shouldn't be as high up as the villains in a list like this. When if you're comparing most essential, I feel like the villains always have to be, in front of the heroes when you're looking at a list like this. But yeah, Piccolo, I'm happy where he is.
Same. This is what I was talking about earlier. Number 12, Master Roshi. Yeah, oh no, Master Roshi is 350 and they gave Chi-Chi 300. Okay, yeah, I misread it.
But Master
But
Roshi didn't do anything in Dragon Ball Z. Let's just all admit it. He did nothing in Dragon Ball Z, but he did do a lot in Dragon Ball. So maybe that's what they're counting in.
and Kamehameha. If he wasn't there, Goku would have never even learned it, and nobody would have learned it. That actually would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah. And
What if there
if
was no
Master Roshi wasn't
Kamehameha?
there, if Master Roshi wasn't there, then that means Grandpa Gohan may be a completely different person, and then maybe someone else would have raised Goku. We don't know.
Uh-huh, and Goku and Krillin would have gotten trained. No Nimbus.
Exactly. So if you're counting in Dragon Ball, then I can definitely see, Master Roshi's getting a number 12. But if you're counting in purely Dragon Ball Z, then it makes no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. He should be like at the very bottom. He didn't do anything.
Number 11, we have Cell, and yeah, I see how Cell is this high up. I still feel like Dr. Gero is had more importance because without Dr. Gero, Cell wouldn't be around.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, Cell triggered Gohan to go Super Saiyan 2. The Cell Juniors actually had more of an impact than Cell, if you're looking at that. But, I mean, yeah, I guess he's a main villain. You got to put him up on this list.
But like he said, makes no sense how Jiro is lower than him.
Exactly.
That actually really bothers me.
It does. Number 10, we have Gohan. Teen Gohan. Well, that's what the picture is. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on this.
Gohan's a weird character.
He is. I mean, he was weak at the start of the series. He peaked in the middle of the series, and then he's just declining from there.
Because even after he went Mystic, I mean, no, he didn't beat Boo. He could have beat Boo. And he just got absorbed.
I know, and I feel like if Goku didn't, pick up Hercule when Boo did the Planet Buster attack, and he actually went ahead and saved Gohan, Gohan would have eventually awoken, like, from his whatever he was doing, and he would have actually killed Kid Buu very easily because Kid Buu was not as strong as Super Buu, and that would have just been the end of it. Unless Kid Buu actually went ahead and absorbed him again, which would have been hilarious.
But I think Gohan's good where he is. What do you think?
I think he's good. I mean, a main character. I think from here on out, we're just going to get into main characters. So number 9, we have Android 18. I don't see how Android 18 is going to be that far ahead of Android 17. I mean, yeah, she married Krillin, but what else did she do?
Um, I don't know. Her and 17 should be side by side.
Yeah, exactly. Like Oolong and Poir, they should be side by side, and so should Android 17 and 18.
Yeah, she should be a lot lower. Not a lot lower, maybe like 5 places lower, right next to 17. But other than that, she hasn't really done much.
So number 8, we have Shenron, the original, well, Earth's Eternal Dragon. And I can definitely see why Shenron is on this list. He has saved everybody so many times within Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, and all of the movies. So, yeah, Shenron, I completely agree with this.
Sam, I completely agree with where he's at in this list.
Now, number 7, we have
Oh
Broly.
my god.
We have the most overrated character. I'm going to say it right now. We have Broly. If Broly even was canon, I don't see how he'd be this far up on this list. I mean, he didn't trigger anyone to do anything. He didn't trigger
All that's
Goku.
going through my head right now is just not canon, overrated, and he didn't do anything, like you're saying.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, he had 3 movies dedicated to him, and in all of those 3 movies, like nothing critical actually happened. Like
Yeah.
it's
Even if something critical did happen, it's not canon.
exactly. So I don't. I feel like canon characters should just not be on this list. I mean, non-canon characters shouldn't be on this list. So
It's like Cooler Bardock, not on this list.
now number 6 we have Goten, and I mean, if you scroll down just a little bit further, you can see that Kid Trunks has not appeared on this list at all. And I mean, Goten himself didn't do anything. It was with the help of Kid Trunks he actually turned into Gotenks and did something.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Goten has to be, paired with Trunks to actually be, essential.
I feel like he should be paired up with Trunks and a tiny bit lower.
Yeah, I still don't see how he's more essential than Dr. Gero. And so number 5 we have Bulma.
Um, Dragon Ball Radar. It's the first thing that came into my mind.
And
Gave birth to Trunks.
and yeah, I mean that's all she really did. She went to Namek. She didn't really do anything while on Namek. But I mean Bulma, she's been there since day one. So I mean you can't really complain. But
Yeah, if you want to go into specifics, the Dragon Ball Radar was huge.
it was.
Like one of the biggest things to the show.
So I mean yeah, I can definitely see why Bulma's number 5. I think from here on out we don't have any more villains. Oh, number 4 we have Kid Buu. Yeah, I mean, Kid Buu, very essential. Well, Majin Buu in general.
hmm
I feel like he's a bit high. Uh, we saw him all throughout the Buu saga, obviously, but in that time, uh, I mean, he didn't really. Okay, he pushed Goku to show off his Super Saiyan 3. He made Vegito. He was pretty much a pain to everybody. But I still just don't feel like he's that essential to the series.
I mean, if he wasn't there, Gotenks would have never happened either. Mystic wouldn't have even happened.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe he should be here. I don't know.
I feel like there's more important characters that have minor roles that, are more important. But again, he's a main villain just like Frieza and Cell. I definitely, he should be in the top 10.
Top
But
10, but not this high.
exactly. So number 3, we actually have Vegeta. And, I actually agree with this. He was a villain. He had some of the best character development throughout the entire series, and he gets number 3.
Yeah, I agree with this 100%. There's nothing wrong with him being at number 3.
So, yeah, number 2, we actually have Goku. So, Goku's one ahead of Vegeta, which, I mean, yeah, I can agree with. Goku's the main character, but, yeah, Goku number 2. Actually, I would have thought that Goku would have been number 1, honestly, but, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
Goku and Vegeta are pretty much the most essential characters as of right now. They take the cake.
and then I cannot wait until we do number 1. Right
Now,
now.
number 1, we have Future Trunks.
Very essential character to the series, but he's not deserving of number 1.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I would have honestly thought when I first looked at this, I thought that Goku was going to be number 1.
And he should.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, either Goku or Vegeta, they should have been number 1 because they had the most screen time and they were the most. Not only were they the most loved, but they are the most powerful and most strongest, and they're relevant to the series. They're relevant to what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that
hmm
Trunks is not loved. Future Trunks is actually one of my personal favorite characters, but I just don't feel he should be number 1. I mean, Future Trunks only appeared in the Android saga. He didn't appear in the
Uh-huh.
Frieza saga. He didn't appear in the Buu saga. He just appeared in one whole saga. So how's he number 1? Goku and Vegeta have been there throughout the entire series.
We can agree on that Trunks is a very important character. If he wasn't there, Goku would have died to the virus and stuff like that. They would have never known about the androids. It would have been, I think it was May. They would have heard a boom, and androids would have been there with no, pre-training or knowledge about it.
And they
But he
would not have
shouldn't be
been able
this
to sense
high.
them. Yeah.
hmm
So
I'd say to fix this, Trunks 3, Vegeta 2, Goku 1.
I mean that'd be fine. Yeah, no, that'd be great because
hmm
they're all main characters, and I mean they're some of the most loved characters in the series. But yeah, Trunks. It also has Trunks' power level as 5.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up when it got silent. 5.
I mean, I
Did they
guess like
what?
what were they thinking? Like honestly, Trunks killed Frieza like in one hit by himself. And
I'm gonna highlight this 5.
like
That's
what were
like,
they thinking? Does okay, you know what? I think the reason they put
did
this
they
on
mean
there.
to say like? I don't think they. I think that that has to be a typo.
No, I think they put it on there because when that guy read Trunks' power level for the first time, I'm pretty sure this was in the manga as well. Trunks was suppressing his power level and it showed up as 5. Or was it 5,000? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was 5. And
I
they were
don't.
pretty much laughing at him, and so maybe they just took that to heart, you know? Like, we don't know, but
But definitely should not be 5. And before we ended off this video, do you want to read a few comments?
let's just
See
do
what,
it for fun. Let's read a few comments. J Dot says everyone here is on Trunks' dick, and I mean, you know what? That's completely true.
true, he should not be number 1. Top 3, but not number 1. So this guy, the person who wrote this, should rewatch the whole series again. I agree 100%.
I feel like he should just sit down and just not move until he watches the entire thing from start to beginning, start to
And the
end,
manga.
and the manga, and the movies, just so he knows that they're not canon.
The power levels are so
I was just
inaccurate
gonna
it
say that one,
hurts.
yeah.
This power levels are way off. Fix up. Complex is trash. This entire conversation is true.
It is, and I
I think
feel like they're just missing one of the most. I don't know if they're counting, Battle of Gods with Beerus, Whis. I don't think they are, but where's Vegito? Like I brought it up before. Vegito is just he's one of the most important characters because without Vegito, everything would be gone. Goku would be gone, Gohan would be gone, Vegeta would be gone. They wouldn't have a chance. So Vegito should be at least somewhere on this list. I mean, they have Hercule, they have Pan, they have Mr. Popo, but where's Vegito? But I don't think I think we're being a little bit harsh on these guys. I mean, they're not Dragon Ball, enthusiasts like you or I are. But yeah, I mean, I think we've got to cut them a little bit of slack. These guys just obviously threw this list together, but it's
I think
completely
I just
inaccurate.
threw it to get some reviews and more publicity. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. This was almost 50 minutes long. I thought this was gonna be like a 20-minute
Oh,
video.
dude,
This
alright,
was
dude.
almost 50 minutes.
That's insane. Like, I think this is one of the longest videos I've ever done.
So if you guys would like us to review any more things together, I'd definitely be down. Just tell us what we should do. But other than that, his channel will be in the description on my video. Hopefully it's the same for his.
And yeah, of course, vice versa.
I'm Expert Gamer. That's Expert Games.
Dude, that's insane. We have the same name pretty much. But we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.